Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story. The head coach with me, Daniel. It's season 5, episode 7. You can see when we're back at the top of the screen. It's transfer deadline day at the end of the January window. Our director of football's got bids in for various players. There's loads of budget left. Everything's going nuts. So we're going to go through deadline day today, and then we'll play the first of 5 very difficult games in the February period. We're going away to David Moyes' Preston, return to where it all started for him. So since you were last with me, you can see we've cemented a place in the top half of the Championship, 7 points clear of 13th place Blackburn now, and we're only 1 point off the playoffs remarkably, but the run in February really is a tricky one. So we play 3 top half sides away from home: 6th place Birmingham, 9th place Burnley and 12th place Preston, which we'll see today. We're at home to QPR, who are scrapping for their lives, and at home to Sheffield United, who are 5th. And with injury duties and a few international problems, we know we need to get a few players in to help us out. But firstly, before we go through the drama of deadline day, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to support the series. I really appreciate your ongoing support. It's great to see so many of you enjoying our stint at the new club. If you are enjoying the series and looking forward to a busy deadline day, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It really does make a difference. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily FM20 content from both of my long-term stories, including this one. But let's go and accept the taking part in deadline day. We've got no responsibilities in transfers, as you'd expect. Just to prove it, I'll take you back to the overall responsibilities. We're now doing 8 tasks. It keeps changing this one back though. It's really annoying me. It's happened 3 times now. Finding development loans for young players, it just keeps coming back to us even though we turn it off. But otherwise, as you can see, we're only responsible for 7 things. Nothing on the transfers and contract responsibilities at all. So hopefully our director of football will be busy today. So in a moment we'll skip ahead and see what magic he can produce. But of course first you want to meet him, don't you? No surprises that our new Spanish TYCOON owner has decided to bring in a Spanish man as his director of football. He's coming from Cordoba over in Spain. Juan Carlos Cordero, that is. 49 years of age, good Continental Pro licence and reputation, 16 judging ability, 15 potential, 14 for negotiating crucially. Not the most adaptable, so I wonder if we'll see some Spanish-based signings today, as I doubt he'll have his scouting knowledge up of England yet. Or will he trust our scouts and work with them? It's all a little bit up in the air at the moment. But a 2.5-year deal for him, so if we stay here long term, we'll have to put up with him. But he has got a fairly professional personality, and I'd imagine that'll reflect in his signings. So let's skip ahead through deadline day. We'll be back as we get news throughout the day. Hopefully more in terms of ins rather than outs, although there are a few on the transfer and loan list to go. Well, 9 AM, we've got a few messages here, so let's just skip through them to find out. Again, a bit like a few others actually, we've had loads of youngsters sold in this window. I'm going to go and show you them very quickly now. This one's another one of 17-year-old, really high potential youngsters they're selling on, for absolute peanuts as well. I mean, let's just look, he's not the first one of this window. So at the start of the month, they sold Chase Corker. He's gone to Southampton, a good young central midfielder. And again, they're all just relatively low fees. Peter Neon Starber, a right winger, he's gone to Nottingham Forest for about 100 grand. Not so much about him, his potential's not as high. And then Kane Littlejohn went to Bristol City, another one that's going to be a decent keeper in the future. So those 3 plus Paul today now all gone. I can see someone's gone on loan too, and we've got a sign-in, so we've got some spoilers there. Let's go back and have a look at them. There's some excitement at last. Firstly, we've got one who rejected us, Vermeulen, an 18-year-old winger. Let's have a look at him. Oh, he's brilliant. He's a young player who's absolutely superb, got loads of potential, and he's rejected us to stay at Anderlecht. Not the best start to the day, but we know we have got one signing to look forward to. As you saw on that screen, loads of players have been going out on loan in January. He's been really busy with that Cordero. And there's another one, Sam McDonald, 18-year-old centre-half. Has he got high potential? Not the highest, so he might make it a League One Championship level, but he's never going to be a top-class player here. And then we've got Stevens signing a new deal. That's a good bit of news. Our experienced centre-half signing on for 3 more years. He's been an absolute revelation for us so far, and I hope he continues to do well for us. We will, before the Preston game, of course, have a look at recent results, but I'm too excited for deadline day at the moment, so I just want to get through this and meet the signings. And the first of them is this guy, Chem Campbell, who's come on loan from AC Milan, a massive club, only 5.5 grand contributed to the wages, a defensive midfielder nonetheless. We've got Ole Selnays in there, who's doing a brilliant job at the moment, but no backup whatsoever in that position. So let's have a look at him. 3-star ability, 5-star potential. The report's very good, just behind Selnays and Baptiste, and actually he can play as a central midfielder too, so he could compete with Mowat for that advanced playmaker spot, but otherwise a good backup in the holding role and gives us a little bit more character in the squad too. You can see he's very driven, so let's go and look at his attributes. Not bad actually. Good footballer, maybe not the best mentally just yet, although his determination is excellent. Two-footed, physically quite good, quite quick for a central midfielder, though his stamina's not the best. Shoots from distance, good from range, very good passer of the ball and technique. So I think Alex Mowat could be looking over his shoulder, as this guy looks to be an absolute superstar. He's a Welshman, ironically, coming from Milan. 10 caps and 3 goals for Wales already. He looks like he's going to be a top-class player. What a very good addition to the squad to start the day. There's players that are going out on loan, apparently, although I'm saying that these are all getting rejected. And it's Dorking Wanderers. There's a bit of a crossover from the other series. They're trying to get in Freddie Burton, but no success with our director of football. Or in fact, it might even be Mike Dudd for the head of youth development. He's rejecting their offers. Rigoni was a player who was on his way out. He's rejected a move to France, so unfortunately he's staying with us. He's on the transfer list. He has been since we joined the club. Unfortunately not wanted by anyone at the moment though. So let's skip ahead to see if we get any more signings. But a good start to the day with Campbell joining us. Well, we're back an hour and 45 minutes later. There's another bid in, this time for a winger from France. He's at Lille at the moment, 3.5 million, rising to over 4. Only made substitute appearances for the French club this year. He's 31 years of age and we have put in a big money offer. Maybe not the best investment long term, but we won't look at him just yet. We'll wait to see if they sign, and then we'll look at the ones that join the club or when they reject us later on. We're back just 11:15 and it's signing number 2 already. Lucas Silva given a work permit. Where's he come from? Let's have a look. 30-year-old experienced midfielder. Where's he playing at the moment? I can't see there. Either way, I hope he's good. 2.5-year deal, 25 grand a week, £2.5 million. There's a lot of money going into this guy, so let's have a look at him. He's come from Dinamo Moscow and he's a Brazilian. Quite a lot of Brazilians you see end up playing in the likes of Russia and Ukraine. He's now made his way over to England. We're going to send him on a language course because he only speaks basic English at the moment. But let's go and have a look at him. That's the most important bit. 3-star ability, 3-star potential. Another experienced man in a holding role. And actually, he is a proper backup to Selnays. So Chem Campbell can be the backup to Mowat in the middle. Then Lucas Silva can come in a holding role as backup to Selnays. And where we've gone from having 4 players playing 3 positions, we've now got 6. It's absolutely perfect. Brilliant work from the director of football, picking out the positions we most need cover. He's a fairly professional personality. Physically, he's already on the decline, which is a little bit of a concern. But in that holding role, stamina's not so key. He's just going to sit in front of the back 4, spray the ball around. And technically and mentally, he's absolutely fantastic. So I trust him to be brilliant at that. He's also a good candidate to lead mentoring groups, a good professional personality too. And after appearances at Dinamo Moscow, he's the second player to join Charlton Athletic today. So let's skip ahead, see if we can get some more in. Hopefully some attacking players now to join the club. And let's just wait and see what else our director of football produces. But so far so good on transfer deadline day. Nearly 7 PM, we're coming towards the twilight of transfer deadline day. A bonanza of money being thrown around at a TYCOON club. It's the likes I've never seen in this series before. Vukatic has got his work permit. He's joined the club for £2.5 million. 15 grand a week, just a squad player. We're not expecting too much of him. At least the director of football's been good. He's not promising them all first team football. So let's just go and have a look at him. 3-star ability, 3.5 potential. Again needs a language course as he doesn't speak English. So let's have a look at his report. A good player in the holding role. He's more natural in that defensive midfield position. So we've now got 3 of them for 1 position. But either way, it looks like a good signing. Another solid championship player. Can cover at centre-half importantly too. So let's have a look at him. Oh, he's a very good player. My type, just solid across the board. He'll be able to cover off the bench in both midfield and centre-half. I'm really impressed with that sort of signing. Montenegrin international, 10 caps for them, 25 years of age, and worth £8 million already. He looks like a proper sound investment. So let's skip ahead, 4 more hours to go. Will we have any more in this bonanza? I love being the manager of a TYCOON side on deadline day. It's so much more relaxing when you don't have to do the work. Well, remarkably at 7 o'clock, he hasn't given up yet. He's just put in a transfer bid for Antonio Marin at Arsenal. Now here I recognise from being a very good young player at the start of this game. 23 years old, £6.5 million would surely be the last one because that's all of our budget pretty much. But what a signing it would be to finish off. Left wing is a position we're probably not the strongest. Regova's the only one there at the moment. 3-star ability, pretty average. This would complete our deadline day and I'd probably feel confident of making the playoffs. So let's skip ahead and see if we can get him. Please don't give me bad news at the end. Otherwise this could be one of the best deadline days we've ever had, and what a transfer special it'll turn out to be. Well, transfer deadline day has finished in style. It's finished with a bang. Antonio Marin gets his work permit. £6.5 million for the 23-year-old Arsenal winger. 26 grand a week, regular starter. He has promised him first team football. He must be a superstar now, surely. Let's have a look at him. 3-star ability, 4-star potential. Not rated as well as the scouts did, actually. He speaks English because he's been at Arsenal. They've made a slight profit on him. They're happy after a few years. We're going to ask Dylan Phillips to welcome him. We really want him to be comfortable at the club, and I'm just hoping that he is rated really well. So comfortable as a winger or inverted winger, same star ability as Rogova, but slightly better in terms of average rating. He's not a consistent performer, doesn't like big matches, but he's got potential. He's young. He's the sort of player we've been crying out for, and he's definitely a better player looking at him. Brilliant dribbler, very good winger, plenty of pace and physicality, loves a bit of flair. We need that in the side, and he's going to be a brilliant winger for us too. What a fantastic signing to end the day. Oh, a youngster as well, a Croatian international. I'm so happy about that one. And with an hour to go, I think that's pretty much our budget done. 4 million left, 49 grand on the wage budget, but an hour and a quarter, surely there can't be any more. But 5 signings have been made on deadline day, and Juan Carlos Cordero, you have become an absolute sensation. Oh my word, he's just topped it off. I'm a Luton fan and he wants to please me even more. He's making a bid for a 6th, and it's none other than James Justin, Luton Town Academy prospect, just gone to Leicester in real life last summer, on loan from Derby as cover for both fullbacks. What a fantastic window this is becoming. I could not have picked out one player I'd rather have here. James Justin, Luton Town, born and bred, brilliant player watching in real life, helped us to back-to-back promotions, and if we complete it with 6 and it's James Justin, then I'll tell you what, he's got a job for life, this director of football. What a fantastic man. Let's see if he can get this one over the line in time. Oh, he's only gone and done it. Unbelievable stuff. What a fantastic window it's been. Optional future fee of 3.5 million as well. So I guess all that's left is to see how good he's become in this game. You're remembering the Luton beta save. I was desperate to try and loan him back. 3-star ability, 4-star potential. Very good in both fullbacks areas. A really good player as well. So let's have a look at him. Back up to John Joe Kenny. Jumps ahead of the experienced Adam Smith, and at left back he's probably the second best, a natural backup to Juan Miranda. What a fantastic player, good versatile one for the bench, really solid fullback, physically very strong, fairly determined too, he likes to get forward, everything's right. Everything is right. He's an attacking fullback. It's exactly what we want. And another one to help boost the squad for the season. 6 players in. A brilliant deadline day bonanza. What a fantastic set of signings too. I could not be more pleased with how that's gone. Oh, how great it is to watch a director of football at a TYCOON club. Let's skip ahead. That's got to be it for now. If it is, we'll come back at 11 o'clock. And we'll just polish off before coming back for Saturday's game, where the only tough job is to decide which of these are going to be in the squad for that game. But it's a nice problem to have. What a fantastic window. Juan Carlos Cordero, you are an absolute superstar. Okay, I might be starting to get concerned now. It's a 7th signing. I'm not sure where these boys are all going to go. I'm not sure who it is. Ellis Chandler, a centre-half. Oh, to be fair, this one's fine. Mike Dove making a bid for a 16-year-old. Coming the other way from Southampton, actually. 1-star ability, 5-star potential. He's joined the club as a youth player. My concerns have gone. I should have trusted the head of youth development and director of football. They know what they're doing. We've got a player coming in. 6 first-team players, and now Ellis Chandler as a youngster. No complaints about that. And what a fantastic deadline this has been. Let's skip ahead to Saturday for the big game. Okay, so we're back on the 3rd of February, and the eagle-eyed viewers among you may have noticed I'm wearing completely different clothes. We've already played the Preston game, and nothing I intended has happened. Now, there's a very good reason for this. We had some technical issues with a microphone. I recorded the whole episode yesterday. It was a lovely one. I really enjoyed it. Then realised that the microphone had a technical issue when we got to the second part of the episode. So none of that counts. We can't show you any of that. So we did play the Preston game off camera on 1-1-0. A vintage display. It was a brilliant performance. From start to finish, we dominated, though we did just nick it in the 92nd minute. So let's just go and have a look at the goal so you can see the key moment. 92nd minute, tapping from a corner. Absolutely everything we wanted it to be. And we managed to get ourselves to 3 points against a weird formation for Preston. 4 men in midfield, but we managed to take advantage. Still dominated. Clark flicked on. Simon Sluga, any Luton fans watching, you'll recognise that from real life. Straight through his hands into the path of Miranda, who volleyed in from a yard to celebrate 3 points. Brilliant stuff. We were really delighted. Preston committing fouls, trying to slow the pace down, but we still managed to get the result, and I'm a very happy man as a result of that. But what I'm also going to do, because I'm aware the microphone issue affected the introduction of one or two players on deadline day, particularly one that didn't end up joining us. We had a few debutants in that game which we'll look at in a moment, but let me show you the schedule since the last episode quickly. I said I promised I'd show you the results before the game. Of course we haven't played it now, so I've got to go again. We played against United and Watford on camera last time. Since then we've had really good form in the league, including the game against Preston. So a 4-3 win at Middlesbrough, Delgado with a bracer, Rezo and Duffy getting the goals, but we still nearly threw it away from 4-1. We did manage to get a win in the end though, a really good result against a good team. Then away to Millwall, the good form continued. Again, a consolation late on. We just seem to be fading, trying to play the pressing game. It doesn't quite last for the 90, but generally we're doing well. Delgado and Hragova getting the goals there. And then Delgado got the winner again against Sunderland. A 2-1 win, again we let in last. We just seem to be giving teams a route back into the match. Run out of fitness towards the end. But a 2-1 defeat away at Swansea, probably the disappointment since the last episode. Selnays with an early goal, but unfortunately Swansea came back. Again, 88th minute we conceded the winner. Now that's just on up to the fitness yet of our tactic, but a 4-2 win. We got revenge against the same opponents in the league the following week. Again we did concede in the 93rd minute, but this time it was already well beyond doubt. Delgado and Miranda with a goal apiece, Hragova getting two himself, before a 2-0 defeat at home to Southampton in what was probably our best performance so far, maybe just the Preston one topping that, but it was a brilliant display. We were fantastic from start to finish, somehow managed to lose 2-0 on the break, but we did get back to winning ways 3 days later against Reading, a 2-1 victory. John Joe Kenny of all people turning up with a winner. So we'll go and have a look at the lineup for that Preston game in more detail in a moment, just so you can see who did make their debuts. But firstly, I just wanted to give you a roundup of the transfer window, as I think there's one person who you didn't get to see the profile of. You knew he was coming in, but because of the issues we had with the microphone, we didn't have the bit where we introduced him to the club. So let's just go through the whole lot. 6 big name signings in the first team, 1 youth player who we got in from Southampton, loads going out on permanent deals for youngsters, that we didn't lose any first team members of the squad. So Chem Campbell was the first one in from Milan, a central midfielder, 3-star ability, 5-star potential, Welsh international. He'll compete with Mowat for the advanced playmaker spot. Again, you can see there he did come off the bench against Preston, a really good player, and I'm sure he'll do very well for us. Then second along the line is Lucas Silva. I think we met him as well. He came in from Dinamo Moscow, a good player, physically just starting to decline, but again a good backup in both the holding role and central midfield. Third was the one that we knew was coming in, but I don't think we saw his profile because of the issue. So Oscar Benitez is the man. I mean, I'm not going to get too hung up about it. We had a brilliant episode, a dramatic deadline day, one of the best I've ever been involved in, particularly being at a TYCOON club now, and then a brilliant win against Preston. I'm just sad you couldn't see my reaction at the end, but needless to say it was fanatical. We were very excited about the outcome. Benitez, a good backup for Delgado on the right wing, perfect in that inverted winger or advanced playmaker role, decent in the air, quite tall just like Delgado. He scores quite a few headers at the back stick, and 3-star ability, a very good squad player, solid backup for us for the rest of this year. And then fourth is Ilya Vukatic, a player who we saw come in but didn't see the initial offer for. More my style of player, 25 years of age, 10 international caps, got room to develop. Good player, was ill so didn't make his appearance at the weekend, but he'll be on the bench regularly moving forward. And again, a good option, a solid player across the board. 15 grand a week, just a squad player, already worth £8 million having come in for less than that. So I'm really excited about the prospect of him developing. I think he's going to be a superstar for us. And then Antonio Marin from Arsenal, the big one at the end. You of course saw my excitement about that. Croatian international, 23 years of age, did make his appearance off the bench at the weekend, but unfortunately he's going to have to bed in a bit more slowly, so he probably won't start for a couple more weeks yet. And then last but not least, James Justin, the man who sealed it off. Luton Town Academy prospect, has been on loan at Charlton before actually. I'd never noticed that. He's been on loan at Charlton before. I should probably look through the others quickly. Marin, he's been on loan before as well. 2 players that have been on loan from Charlton in the past, so 2 players that have already played for the club. But James Justin just sealed the treat on the last day, the cherry on top as you'd call it. 3-star ability, 4-star potential. We've got a good future fee for him in the summer. He looks like an absolute superstar. And of course at Leicester in real life, following back-to-back promotions at Luton Town, I've seen plenty of this kid in the last couple of years. He is a very big talent for the club. We also had the youngster Chandler, which we're not going to talk about too much yet. Just a 16-year-old, he's got plenty of room to develop. But we also want to look at the one who rejected us. I think that's the other bit we ended up losing from the technical issues. He was at Hebai Fortune in China, a really good player at 32 years of age. We offered him £80,000 a week. I've no idea what the director of football was doing. Mentally really strong. He rejected us over wages. The fact he's on 100 grand there and wouldn't join for 80, probably not the type of player we wanted anyway, to be honest. So I'm really glad in the end that he didn't end up joining, as I don't think he was really in it for the right reasons. And immediately after he rejected, that's when Vukotic came in, who's a much better option for the way I like to manage. So I'm really excited about the ones we've got in, and I'm really excited about the rest of the season actually. That win against Preston lifts us up in the table to 7th place, just a point behind the playoffs. We're well clear of the bottom half now, 9 points is the distance. That's Preston and Bristol City hanging on in that mid-table place. So I'm really pleased with how things are going in the league, and I really think we can compete for those playoff spaces now. 6 additions, no one leaving from the first team. Of course, short term that's an excellent solution. I'm a little bit concerned a lot of those youngsters have been sold, but for now we're not going to worry about that too much. I think long term they've got a plan in place here. But overall a really good result. As you did see, there were 3 debutants in that game. So against Preston, off the bench came Chem Campbell, Oscar Benitez and Antonio Marin. I made the choice not to start any of the new players. 2 of them were ill or injured anyway, so we were a little bit limited in that regard. But 3 of them coming in, and we'll gradually start bedding the players in. But I'm really excited about the long term at this club. So if you did enjoy this episode and that bizarre TYCOON chaotic transfer deadline day, please do let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. Please put a thumbs up on the video, it really does make such a difference. Apologies again that I couldn't show you the game due to the technical issues, but I really haven't seen a deadline day like that in the past, and let me know in the comments if you've seen anything like it. Have you ever not been in charge of transfers? Have you been at a TYCOON club where there's been that much action? I've just never seen either before, so in the head coach is certainly our most dramatic window deadline, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, despite the few little technical issues. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from both of my long-term stories. This one's back in 2 days' time. We'll leave it around a month for now. We've got 2 big games at the start of March, Fulham and Forest both at home, and they're in that top half chasing the playoff spaces, so they're going to be big ones in our quest to make it for the top 6. Then we'll come back towards the end of the year, maybe the last 2 against Watford and Huddersfield, as we try desperately to get in contention for the playoffs, and maybe an extended season, who knows. In the meantime, our Dorking Wanderers story will be back tomorrow at 4:30, the usual time for that series 2. A little slower progress in that one, just a bit more steady as we try to work up the leagues, but building a club despite many off the pitch restrictions is a very different type of challenge to this club, and a very exciting one nonetheless, and I'm really enjoying it. It's more for the one club story, and as a Football Manager player they're always my favourite ones to be part of. Finally, I'm part of a podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews, and you can see the link to the matchday vlogs in the eye above. A massive thank you for your support with those. The numbers on some of them have been absolutely ridiculous. We love lower league football and we'll keep attending matches, and I hope you enjoy the coverage and please give us your feedback. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support of the series as always. I really do greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the transfer special as much as me, and will join me again in a couple of days for those 2 big championship matches.